I always say, and I have been saying this, November is a very, very long time to wait for the US presidential elections, especially when it is pretty much going to be a Biden Trump rerun. If it was someone else, maybe I would be breathing easily. I think everyone else would. And certainly, I think most European leaders would be very, very much be in that same boat as well. But the fact that you have, once again, Biden Trump has really raised concerns across Europe with the fact that you have had Trump in the past, well, since the start of this year, not just since this year, but make multiple comments about how he will not um, help NATO allies. And bear in mind, during his first presidency, Trump would traditionally throw allies under the bus left, right, and center. So now you've got European countries going, okay, we have to take our defense seriously, and we have to look at doing it without American help or even American intervention, should the worst come to the worst. And, what if Russia goes into the Baltic states? Is is a President Donald Trump going to come to NATO's help, and or at least to Europe's help, and engage in that? If those countries trigger the collective defense article of the NATO, will America come to help? Trump has undermined that whole concept of the collective defense, and as a result, you are now seeing, you've got France saying, well, we might put troops into Ukraine. Canada also said that as well. You've got Germany having talks about, well, should we maybe get nuclear weapons? They've talked to the UK about extending our nuclear umbrella to sort of include not only Germany but Eastern European as countries as well. That is something that could potentially happen as well. But European countries are now more so than ever taking the idea of their defense, really seriously, and especially in the light of Ukraine, realizing what it really means to maybe sort of fight a modern war, almost in many ways repeating the exact same kinds of industrial lessons we learned at the start of World War One. You know, but you know, there you go. History, bizarre way of repeating itself, etc., etc. But we're going to have a look at this because I think this idea being floated by Ursula von der Leyen's party that she represents in the European Parliament and in the upcoming European parliamentary elections might be something that might not be a bad idea. And that is to have a European Security Council. So, would be interesting. I will say that. Would it be able to provide for a, again, in the event of American absence? I think this is why European leaders are eyeing this. And I think this is why, especially when you go into the European parliamentary elections, I would not be surprised if you see a lot of discussion about this. A lot of discussion. So this might not be the last time that we see this. But one of the things that she is saying, and Ursula von der Leyen has said, is that she wants the UK to be included in this. That if we do set up a European Security Council, that the UK should have a seat at the table. And I think that is right. We are a European country, and if you are going to be discussing European security concerns, you probably want all the European countries, to be in there talking about this, as it is going to be very much, I think, important for the whole sort of European defense and security. So I do see this as a good positive step forward. So I'm going to go quickly cover what has been said on this and just quickly the coverage on this from Politico, because I think it's worth just going over that very quickly. Then we'll talk maybe about what this might mean afterwards as well. So before we do go into this, please do remember to click on the like, share, and subscribe button. Of course, down below, there are links to my Patreon page, the one donation link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can buy me coffee, the YouTube thank you button, there's the Pony Club down below as well. And of course, thank you very much for watching. Do remember to click on the like and the share button as well. And of course, on to this. Like I said, this comes from Politico with the title of Save Brexit Britain a Seat on the New European Security Council, von der Leyen's party says. So, Brussels could offer the UK a seat on the new European Security Council if Ursula von der Leyen's party gets its way in this year's EU election. The manifesto for the EU's dominant centre-right group calls for the appointment of a European Security Council comprised of the leaders of EU member states and other European countries, including at least the UK. The European People's Party has dominated the EU's institutions for more than 20 years and has included the current Commission, and is widely expected to come out on top in June's election. The PPE also confirmed in its manifesto on Wednesday at a congress in Bucharest, but the EU's mercurial political system means the creation of such a council is also far from guaranteed to go ahead. Fears amongst some of the lawmakers and members of the other over EU mission creep on security could represent a substantial stumbling block for the idea. But it could end up as a very attractive proposition for European leaders eyeing their options in the event of a Donald Trump return to the White House next year. And that is why people are, again, so concerned that what happens if Donald Trump gets back in? So I think the idea, if Trump gets back in, I think the idea of creating a European Security Council is pretty much a guarantee. We've already seen Starmer and, of course, Lamy say they want to have closer sort of European sort of defense treaties and have a look at sort of tying us closer to sort of defense and alliances stuff. I think that is very, very good in that general direction. And I think we have seen that drift back towards the EU that we've often talked about would happen. Labour do seem to be sort of going in that direction, not only just talking about that, but other things as well. But when it comes to sort of defense, I think doing these things, taking part in sort of these types of initiatives, I think would be very, very beneficial for all of Europe as an idea for its defense. Because, hey, what if Donald Trump returns to the White House next year? That's what many people are thinking. Might happen. Again, I hope not, but you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared. You have to have a response just in case. Because what does someone like Putin do if he goes into the White House? Does pretty much all Ukraine aid either come to a very much halt, or does Trump do stuff that just continuously delays it, or who knows what? So it's a really worrying time. But as we've said before, Europe now more so than ever really thinking about its strategic autonomy when it comes to its own defense, its own security. We've had David Cameron in Germany very recently talking about that very same thing with with Schultz and their defense minister. So who knows what will happen? Who knows? I do think this is very, very much predicated on the idea, of course. Trump is right that maybe if a European Security Council, if that particular party does win, maybe they do create one, but maybe it takes time to create one. Maybe something else forms from it. Maybe that might be separate from the EU because of this, because the European countries want to come together faster. Again, I don't know, but European countries talking together, talking about that, again, very good. Especially as we said in light of Ukraine, the massive increase in shell production that we are sort of aiming for by the end of the year. So again, it's all good. It's all good. It's all going in the right direction, and I am at least very glad that we are being included on things like this. So that is very good indeed. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and of course, as always, we'll see you all next time.